The 2025 NFL Draft is in the books, and as always, there's a feel around who won and who lost after the three-day event. Although we'll get the real answer on that a couple years from now. I look at the Las Vegas Raiders as a huge winner. Just the makeover they did for their offense in this draft. And yes, it's a cheat code when you add Ashton Genty to your backfield because he becomes the identity of your offense out of the gate. But it was deeper than that. Jack Besh in round two, the wide receiver from TCU. He's somebody that can come into the offense and be a capable number 3 or number 2 wide receiver this year with room to grow. And Geno Smith under center elevates this passing offense, especially not only with a player like Jack Besh, but Deontay Thornton, the wide receiver from Tennessee, who has speed and size for days, a long striding vertical threat that averaged well over 20 yards per catch in Tennessee's offense this year. So now the Raiders' pass game is rounded out. You have Brock Bowers, which we know what he could do after his marvelous rookie season. Jack Besh is a middle-of-the-field possession threat, and Thornton that can stretch the field. Not to mention that Ashton Genty should be the favorite for Offensive Rookie of the Year. And it was a nice little addition that they doubled up on offensive line back-to-back with Caleb Rogers from Texas Tech and Charles Grant from William & Mary. I think at least one of those two guys will develop into a long-term starter. So John Spytek, his first draft in the GM chair, I thought it was a 10 out of 10 on the offensive side of the ball. He hit it out of the park. Pete Carroll comes to the Raiders wanting to win right away. He's got all the ingredients to score points to do so. On the other end of things, a loser to me, and I liked the Saints draft, but the selection and the expectations now for Tyler Shough is a really, really tough spot for New Orleans, especially when you use the 40th overall pick on him. There's injuries around Derek Carr. There's a good chance that Shough will have to play as a rookie. And quite frankly, yes, while he's been a 7-year college career player that's 25 years old right now, he's had 3 significant injuries at college. And I thought the tape was more of a high-end backup kind of player, fringe starter. Now he's going to be thrown into the spotlight. I like the selection of Kelvin Banks to get more help in front of whoever is under center for New Orleans. But at the end of the day, it just feels like there's not a concrete, solid plan under center for the future of this organization. And until you have that figured out, it's going to be hard to be a sustainable winner again in New Orleans. And then number 3 here on the list, I think a winner of all this, and it's weird to project it this way because it probably was the worst couple of days of Shedeur Sanders' life, but I think he can be the starting quarterback for Cleveland. He ends up in a situation where if that's a true competition, if they give him a fair shot, what we saw, what was left in the tank for Joe Flacco last year in limited time with the Colts was not pretty. What we've seen from Kenny Pickett at the NFL level has not been starter quality. Dillon Gabriel, he was a guy I thought would go more in the 5th, 6th, maybe even 7th round of the NFL draft. So I know they took Gabriel earlier than Shedeur Sanders, but Sanders walks into a situation where despite it being a rough couple of days, a long wait, it probably felt embarrassing at times. He might get the last laugh if he's the starter week 1 for Cleveland in a situation where he goes into training camp, depending on what kind of reps they give him, that this was one of the rare places he can actually win the job. So it'll be really interesting to see if that comes full circle for Shedeur Sanders and the Browns, despite all of the drama throughout this event.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.